Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in the previous video I showed you how you can make your own hour indexes and how you can do path printing, and in this video I will show you how you can make your own dial. So this is my dial. I mean, I did not film the way I cut it. Cutting it is actually pretty easy. It's I showed you before how I make the design, and you just have to cut it basically following the same settings that you're using for the hour indexes. I showed you, for example, the way you cut the whole thing is by doing an offset fill, and I mean, you kind of have to do an offset fill. If not, it will not cut, so don't do a line when you cut the brass. Anything else is pretty straightforward. Like I showed you before, it's you have to do these holes here. For example, if you want to put the hour indexes, you have to do these holes here, where the hour index will go inside this. And like I explained to you in the previous video, you have to do this hole here. That it's cut all the way through basically, and here you're gonna glue it on this side. So yeah, so basically the engraving as well, this pattern here, I mean, this is my choice the way I do it, but it's really up to you guys how you do it. So yeah, so basically this is the dial unpolished. So the way I polish it, it's again I use the same thing that I showed you before to polish it. Of course, it's really up to you guys how you polish it. So I'm using these things again to polish it. But the only difference is, I mean, like I said, it's really up to you guys. You can actually polish like this or whatever you want. But the way the way I polish it is I have this thing here. So this is a piece of thread here. Let me see if I can focus this. So as you see, that's a piece of thread here, is glued. This is a piece that comes from the rotary machine. And the way I do it, I put this screw here, like this. And then I screw it in the rotary machine in this basically. And the way I polish it is by spinning this thing, the rotary machine. So I just see it like this. The reason for that thread is to not scratch the dial, as you can presume. You see, if you don't put that thread there, usually they come with plastic thing or something like that, but it still scratches the dial even with that one. So that's why I'm putting that this thread there. Like I said, it's glued, and that's why I'm putting it there, to not scratch the dial, because if you scratch it you will see it. So basically this is the way you have to do it. And then you spin it, and then you polish it, and I will show you guys the final result after I'm polishing it. So meanwhile, before I'm doing that, I just wanted to show you guys my first work when I started doing watchmaking. Like I said, I'm a self-taught watchmaker, so this video is not really for watchmakers out there. I'm not saying that I'm a watchmaker. Basically everything that I learned is self-taught. So I didn't ask anyone's opinion, I didn't ask anyone's advice. Everything that I learned by myself. So this is one of my first, as you see, the stamping, how big it is comparing to the way it should be actually. So let's do a comparison. This is This is a dial that I made recently, and as you see, very tiny. The logo is very tiny as well. And when I did this, again, that was I think a year ago or even more than a year ago. This is actually the second watch that I made, and I was very pleased with the result, even though the logo takes literally half of the dial. So basically everything started with this. This is the first watch that I made. I always wanted to have an Omega, to be honest, and I always wanted to have an Omega Deville, and this is the first watch that I made. So the way I did it, I bought all the parts online. I bought them on eBay. So I bought this case, I bought the dial, and I bought the movement inside as well. I was lucky that actually the movement came with it came with the hands as well and with the dial. But of course, if you don't know what to do and if you don't know how you're doing it, you kind of tend to mess it up. So I did mess it up so many times. So basically the movement, this movement is battery movement, is quartz. So the thing is, at the beginning I did not know exactly why involved, so I did not know I mean, if you're not careful, even if you change the battery, you can actually mess it up. You can do like a electrical short or whatever. So it is a bit tricky when you work with watches. So basically this is the way I started. So I bought the parts, and then I bought the dial from a different seller. But little I knew back then that this particular watch has a 0.2 millimeters thick dial, and the one that I bought, it was 0.4 millimeters thick, and it did not fit. I messed it up. I tried to make it thinner. I tried to make it like way slimmer and stuff, and it's not really the way. I mean, it's not easy to do those things. I mean, it's supposed to be 0.2. So as you see, again, the Omega stamp. Again, it's very big for the size of the dial, not really clear as well. The thing is, I'm not even bothered to remake this one. I don't wear any other brand watches. I only wear my watches at the moment. But still, it was a nice journey, to be honest. I mean, making this watch from scratch, and I was very happy with the result, the way it turned out. And this hour index is the reason why I'm not making it, even now that I have a bit of experience of like in making watches. But even now, to be honest, these indexes here, they are very hard to take down, and they are very hard to put because they are so tiny. And these ones as well, they are very tiny. It doesn't really fit the holes, they are very tiny as well. Everything is so tiny. I don't know how they make this, but I'm telling you, it is a bit of a struggle. As you see, it doesn't really have the minutes all around. It doesn't have the writing Swiss made. Back then I did not know how to do these tiny things. As you see, let me see if I can focus here. If you see, for example, the writing on the wheel, is not really that clear. The writing on Omega is not clear as well. Well, you have to learn somehow, right? Anyway, so let's get back to the dial. I will start polishing it. I will start polish it, and then I will show you guys the final result, the way it looks like when it's polished. Okay, so I'm back. So this is the way it should look after being polished. As you can see, you can still see in the middle, it's not a scratch, it's more like a shiny thing from the thread, but it's not a scratch, it's more like a shiny thing. So that will not affect when you'll not be able to see it after you paint it. But yeah, this is the final result of of it being polished. As you see, that's why it's okay to polish it by spinning it, so it does this nice effect. You see when from the light, basically. So if you're using normal paint for this, you're not gonna be able to see. Only if you put like a very thin layer, or it kind of depends, you're gonna be able to see these things that they spin on the light. But if you're using enamel, or if you're using electroplating, then you will be able to see them. So yeah, keep that in mind if you want to have this effect. Do it by spinning it. And now the thing that you have to do, because this is just a normal dial, the thing that you have to do now, it will be the dial fit at the back. So I will show you guys how I do that as well. I will show you guys what I'm using for the dial fit. I'm using like a machine, like it's a welding machine. It's not the one that you just drill holes and then you glue the feet on the back. I'm using the one that you solder the feet at the back of the dial. So you remember this from the previous video, and I showed you that is meant for something else. You see these holes here? Well, they are meant to be like this, basically. So this is just the shape of the way you put the dial fit. So the dial fit they are these ones for the movement I'm using. Again, like I explained before, every movement is different, and every movement has a dial fit position in a different part, basically. But this particular one I made before is for this one. So as you see here, these tiny things, this as well, they go what, 6, 9, 12 and 3. I have them here as well, as you see them. Like I explained before in the previous video, they are important, and that's the reason why I'm doing them. So when you do the holes, you just place this one here, you just position it, you just follow these things basically to be exactly the same. Oh no, it's not. Actually I can use it, it's okay. Don't follow the date. I mean, this one I made it for another dial. As you see, the date it's at 4 o'clock for this one, and this one it's at 5. Let me see what's happening here. Yeah, so 3, 4, and this one it's at 5. But still, it doesn't really matter. You just have to follow this, basically these things here. You have to follow them. And as you see, the date is not positioned proper, but once you follow those, as you see, you're not gonna have a problem. The thing is, and the most important thing is, you have to position them exactly proper. If you don't position them proper, and even if it goes with a fraction of a millimeter, then it will not work. So as you see, and then what you have to do to make your work easier, you have to put a tape on this to hold it in place. The thing is, I know where they are supposed to go, the feet, but for example these ones, these holes, I know where they are supposed to go. So this one here, this one has to go at 2 o'clock. I mean, now it says 2 o'clock, now it's like wrote here 2 o'clock, but normally you kind of have to keep in mind that this one here has to go at 2 o'clock. So do not go like that, because I did it before so many times, because you will end up doing the holes wrong, basically. So you just have to do it like this. And like I said, you put a tape to hold it in place, or it's really up to you guys how you do it. Just put a tiny bit of glue. And after all of them, all 4, they are positioned correctly, you get one of these. Let me show you guys. I have 2 of them, so I'm doing it first with this thing. Usually I look at them with the magnifying glass to be proper positioned. As you see, it is proper position, but keep in mind, I will recommend you to look at it with the magnifying glass, because it's very important. If you don't make these holes, if you don't make these holes properly, this one and this one, they will end up to be, I don't know, like the date will not be positioned properly. So it's very, very, very important to do them properly. It's very important to do them exactly the way it should be. If not, you will have a problem of the date will not be positioned properly. Yeah, so I will come back to you guys when I'm doing this. Okay, so it's done. I did the holes at the back. One did not turn out to be okay, because I did not use this one. I just put it there. I just did like a mark, and then I try to do it without leaving it on. And this is what happened. Let me see if I can show you guys. You see, I did the hole. So I did not do the hole proper, as you can see. That's not gonna be a problem, because after I solder them, they will work proper. But as you see, you have to do another test. For example, so to see if everything is okay, you just do another test all around. And when you do the solder, keep this one. You still keep it on. If you have the same machine that I'm talking about, you still keep it on, because if you don't keep it on, these feet, they are very small, and you're not gonna be able to see if it goes straight in a hole, because it has to go in the middle. But if you keep this one on, at least you have a point of reference, and you're gonna know exactly when it goes in the middle. But anyway, I will do that thing after I paint the dial, because the way I'm painting the dial, again, I will show you guys later how I'm painting the dial as well. The way I'm painting the dial, again, I'm spinning the dial. So if it has this dial fit here at the back, because of the spinning and everything, maybe I will break the dial fit. So it's better to put them at the end. I mean, this is the way I do it. You guys, you can do it at the beginning. It's really up to you guys, but I noticed that if I put them at the end, then it will be a lot easier for me. what else there is to know about this. Yeah, when you do these holes here, do not go too deep. If you go too deep, because of the soldering machine, you will see it on the other side, or you will, like the paint, for example, if you use a paint and if you use that soldering machine and if you solder them, then you will be able to see, or you melt the paint, or there are some things that can happen. So do not make this hole too deep. That's one. And second, I will show you guys the settings later on the machine that I have, because if you buy it from AliExpress, which I buy it from, they will tell you a different setting that you're using. So the setting that they are using, it's a bit too strong, and again, you will mess up with the paint on the other side. Yeah, what else? And again, another thing, which is the most important thing, after putting everything and after you do after you polish it and after everything, so basically exactly when you finish the dial, the most important thing is you have to check if it fits. So this is the glass, this is the thing that I have for the watch. So in this particular one, this part has, if I can zoom this, has something like a canal here, like a, I don't know how shall I explain it, has something where the dial goes in. So if you put it here, as you see, it doesn't move, it stays here proper, and you don't see it going outside, so it's flat, as you see. It's important to check every time when you do the dial, and the way I do it, I have this piece, this one that I used for the holes. This one has, like, it's a multi-purpose thing. This one comes from those aluminum business cards, which you can find on marketplace on AliExpress, and they are very handy for when you do watches, because this is the design that, first of all, you can use this, you can see if the pad printing goes proper, but the most important is you can cut it. One second. You can cut it and you can test to see if it fits before making the dial. As you can see, this is what I'm using to test. Before making the dial, you make one of these to see if it fits here, if the lines, for example, if the minutes they go well and everything. As you see, the made in England and Swiss movement as well, if everything goes the way it should go before making the dial, or before applying everything, before even applying the pad printing on the dial that you're using, it's okay to make a test like this that you can use first for these holes, to put it on the dial, to test it to see if it goes in the watch basically, and to see if everything goes the way it should go. So it's okay to make one of these other tests. Even, for example, even if you have a fiber laser, even if you don't do the pad printing, at least engrave it. Engrave the whole thing on this piece of aluminum. Do these holes, cut it. One second. So yeah, do these holes, cut it, and engrave the whole thing just to test to see if it fits in the frame, or if it fits in the case, or it kind of depends. If you have the other case that the dial comes from underneath, it's still okay to test to see if the size is correct and if everything is okay, is correct basically. Again, to show you this other dial that I made before. As you see, this is the dial, and this one has, you see, it fits perfectly. It doesn't move. It stays here perfectly. As you see, even let me see if I can zoom even here. And this one has a ring as well. I will show you guys later on, not in this video, but in another video I will show you how to make this ring to save you the trouble of pad printing, basically. But yeah, this when you make this ring, it will be a bit more complicated to match it exactly and blah blah. Anyway, I will show you guys later how I make this. Okay, so now what I will have to do is paint this, and then I will come back to show you the final result. I do not know what color I'm using. Every time when I'm making, when I'm painting dials, I don't really have a color in mind. I just go with the flow, basically. I'm just like picking colors. I mean, I'm testing colors and stuff like that. I mean, as you see in this one, for example. 1 second. As you see in this one, again, I just come up with ideas. I just wanted something orange, and I had like this strap orange that I bought like a long time ago, and I wanted to match something with the strap. And again, with the second hand, I just came up with the idea of making it green. Like I said, I don't really have color in mind when I'm doing it. I'm happy to test new colors all the time. So this one, for example, I wanted to make something more like autumn, because autumn is around the corner. So that's why I chose this this nice orange. So again, every watch that I make is one of a kind. So I will show you guys later how I'm what's the procedure that I'm using to paint the dial. So because every watch, because every dial, the way it's painted, I can't replicate the same pattern and the same colors. So basically, every color that I make is one of a kind. All the watches I made, they have, for example, let me show you this one. All the watches I make, they have different patterns, different colors. So that's why I'm happy to test all sorts of colors. For example, this one. Again, they are colors that you're never gonna see anywhere. They are colors that you're never gonna make, even if you're using enamel paint or whatever. You're not gonna make this type of patterns, these combinations of colors and stuff like that. So this is something that I made up. This is something that I invented, basically. I never seen anyone doing it the same. A lot of people, they are using like spray or whatever, and because of that reason, because I invented it and because I made this, the only thing that I'm telling you guys is that I'm using a spinning device, basically the rotary thing that I can tell you guys. But the only problem is you're not gonna achieve this color only by using paint. So I'm using a paintbrush to do this. So I'm not using it, I'm not doing like by a airbrush, or I'm not using like a paint spray or whatever. I'm actually doing it by a brush. But the problem is you're not gonna achieve these combinations of colors, and you're not gonna achieve these like patterns and everything. That's the secret that I will not share, I'm afraid. The only thing that I will share is showing you guys how I'm doing it. But the problem is it's another secret ingredient that I'm not gonna be sharing, and that's the one that makes this whole thing. Again, that's the one that I discovered, and that's the one that I will not be sharing, I'm afraid. So basically, if you're using only paint and only paint and spinning this thing, you will not have this, the colors, they will not blend in the way they blend in this one. They will just, as you say, they blend in nicely, and you don't see any brush strokes or anything. It's just like smooth. So that's the thing. I mean, that's the one that I will not share, but in rest I will be happy to share everything. So yeah, like I said, I will start painting this watch, this dial, and then I will come back to you with the final result to show you guys exactly how it looks. Okay, so the way I do it is like this. I have this rotary machine, and here is the dial, and the way it is, it just spins like this, basically. And then I apply paint on the dial. I'm going with the green, and in order to do green I have to combine blue with yellow. So as you see, okay, so this is the way it turned out. I don't know if you can actually see the color. 1 second. So something like this, and now I will let it dry under this dome. But the phone doesn't really do a good job, so I will show it to you guys later with the professional camera to see the colors and everything. Yeah, so this is the final result. As you see, you're never gonna get something like this with enamel or whatever you're using. So as you can see, the colors and everything, the way they are combined. Of course, it has a bit of like some tiny things, as you see. Has a bit of like some specks of dust and stuff, but that's really not visible with the naked eye. But this is the color. So what I have to do now, it's 1 second. It has a sticky thing on the other side, as you see the way I put this sticky thing for spinning, so that's why it kind of sticks to the surface. So what I have to do now is put the logo and put all the markings as well, all the like everything that I want to be written on it. The thing is with that, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so that's why I said it can take up to a week or 2 weeks to make a dial, just because of that. For example, as you see this color now, probably this will not be the final color, because the thing is, once I put the logo, for example, here, and all the markings, and of course all the writings and stuff, that can go wrong sometimes. Probably they are not aligned the right way, because this one I'm not doing for me, so this one I'm trying to do it as perfect as possible. And if that will not go well, if the writing will not go well, and if everything will not go well, I will have to redo it all over again. So I will have to repaint it again, and I will have to do everything again. The reason why is because once I place the stamp, because the paint that I'm using, it's exactly the same paint that I'm using for this, so basically I can't really wipe it off. So once I put a stamp, and if it's not aligned proper, and if it's not, everything is not in order, then I have to do everything all over again. So yeah, this thing happened a lot at the beginning. Lately it did not happen anymore, so lately I managed to stamp it the right way, but again, you never know. That's the whole thing of doing handmade watches. Things can go wrong. It's not a factory made, everything is made by hand. So the thing is, I really hope this time will go very well, because I really do like this color. I mean, like I said, you will never see a color like this ever. So as you see, the way it's combined, and the way it's all sort of like, is like a northern light sort of thing. So like I said, you're never gonna see this color from like whatever enamel or whatever you're using. Even if you're using paint, if you're not using it the right way, it will not be the way it is now. So yeah, so like I said, I will make a video again on how I'm stamping the whole thing, and yeah, fingers crossed, hope for the best. Okay, so now that everything is clean, make sure that you clean the dial proper. And when I say proper, I mean look at it with the magnifying glass. It's not enough of blowing wind in it or whatever, because you kind of have to understand that everything it's so tiny. Even a tiny speck of dust will mess up everything. Make sure that you clean everything proper, and then you use the dust blower. You use the dust blower one more time after you clean everything. You use the dust blower on the cliché, on the dial as well. Remember to use this sticky thing for the pad as well. Make sure that you clean everything proper. After you use this sticky, you dust blow it again. Make sure that it's dust free. And then you can apply, and yeah, hope for the best. Like I said, things can go always wrong, and in my case, because I'm painting the dial with the same paint I'm using for this, there's no turning back, so I only have one chance at this. And yeah, I really hope it goes well. That's why I said at the beginning of my journey, when I tried to do this, I messed it up so many times, so I had to do the same dial over 10 times or something like that. So this is the way it looks. I don't know if I'm really happy with it. So as you see, yeah, so as you see, it's not the way it should be. You see this index? The line is not really aligned with the index. Yeah, so the problem is I will have to redo it again. And as you see here on the hypnotic, on the writing, it's a bit the hypnotic, it's a bit lower, the writing. this line here, it's a bit lower as well, so basically what I have to do is put it just a bit up to adjust it just a bit up. Yeah, too bad of this dial because I really like the color, but yeah, I will have to do it again and hopefully I will achieve almost similar color like this one. But this is what I mean, it's very hard when you go on this path of watchmaking. It's never the way you plan. Everything else seems like it's aligned proper, but you see just a fraction of a millimeter, it messes up everything. But anyway, I will have to redo it again, I will have to repaint it again, and yeah, I will have to start over again. Yeah, like I said, I'm just making these videos, I mean, show you my mistakes as well, show you how hard it is to make a watch, and it's not the way you plan all the time. So this is the result after I stamp the logo and the markings, the minutes I mean. As you see, it's everything is the way it should be. And this is the color. It's, like I said, almost similar with the other one that I did not manage to do. And now I have to do. So first of all, as you see, when I paint it, 1 second to focus. So when I paint it, I put this sticky thing at the back because of the paint. So basically when it spins, you can actually ruin the dial at the back, and it's very hard to wipe it off. So I put this sticky thing and I have to take it off and do the hole as well. Again, as you see at the hole here, I put something already just because of this. It makes the paint basically go smoother if I put that one in the middle, so I will have to remove that one as well. And the next step is to put the dial fit at the back and to put the hour indices, and then yeah, and then assemble it basically. So after I put the stamping, as you see how clear it is, after I put the stamping, you have to put like a varnish coat on the top of it, just to hold it, just to keep it in place basically, just to not scratch it and stuff like that. So at the moment it's like I said, it's proper smooth and it's proper shiny, and as you see, it has this this light effect as well. So yeah, so this is the dial. So like I said, now I will put the dial fit. I will show you guys what machine I'm using for the dial fit as well. That's again, you can find it from AliExpress or from eBay or from wherever. It's actually pretty easy once you figure it out. At the beginning it is quite hard because they tell you different settings, but I'm doing my own settings, and the dial fit actually they do last. I mean, I do not know, basically my cases, they let me show you guys, they close, as you see, from the top, from here they close, so the dial comes from the top, it doesn't come from the bottom. So the thing is, with the other ones that the dial comes from the bottom. I do not know how good are the dial fit when they are welded there. I don't know how strong they are, but because my one, it comes from the top, this case here, it kind of holds the dial in place even with dial fit or without dial fit. So I'm putting the dial fit just to keep the dial in place, and then when I put this cap on the top, it kind of holds the dial in place anyway, so it doesn't move, it doesn't, so the dial fit will not break anyway. So So like I said, with the other ones that the dial come from the bottom, I do not know how strong this machine how strong the machine is, so I can't really recommend the necessary, but you can actually try it. Again, it's another one that you can actually drill some holes at the back and you put the dial fit. There are many machines regarding the dial fit, but this is the one that I'm using. Okay, so that being said, I will start putting the dial fit, and again I will explain to you how I do it and what setting I'm using. Okay, so this is the machine I'm using for the dial fit. As you see, I placed this dial where the holes are on the top of the other, so I would recommend you guys to put a bit of glue, just a tiny bit, to not stick it there forever, but just put a tiny glue to stay here, to see where the holes are, because it's very important. If you don't use this, then you will not manage to put the dial fit exactly on these holes here. So that's why I'm placing this before, just like a guideline, placing it. I'm placing it here on the dial, and then I put the dial fit, and then I remove it. So basically it will not stick to aluminum for whatever reason, so it only sticks on brass and probably copper as well. And this tiny thing, as you see here, the dial fit, which are this, will go inside this, and these are my settings. I noticed that if I'm using these settings, they are way better than the ones that they are telling you, but again, you can play with it as well. So basically, if you're using this is the energy and this is the time, so probably this is like 2.5 seconds, not even 2.5 seconds, probably even less than 2.5 seconds, not 25 milliseconds or whatever. And this is the energy, this is the power. So basically, the more you go, the more it's actually can ruin the dial, basically, especially if you paint your dial. So if you paint your dial and if you put this one at 90 or 100, the way they say, I think they say 90 or something like that, if you use that one on the other side of the dial, you will see a bit of melt at the paint. So that's why I'm using my settings. I noticed that these ones, they are the best. I do not know, again, I do not know how strong they are, the dial fit. I do not know if they will last long, but like I explained to you before, my cases, they close from the top, so yeah, I don't really need it to hold that much. When if I will use another case, I will have to adjust probably the settings, but yeah, so these are the settings. So what you have here, basically they give you this as well. This is the paste that you put on those tiny holes, and with the dial fit as well, I think they give you dial fit as well. A dial fit, again, they come in different sizes as well. My ones, I just see, they are 50 by 40 and 200, so it's 65, as you see. Yeah, so I will put now the dial fit, and I will show you guys the final result. Same dial fit, they are placed, and what you have to do now is test it on the movement to see if everything is in place. So I will test it right now. Okay, so I will test it on this movement to see if everything is in order. Don't really have to put a ring necessary. You just have to test to see if everything is okay. So as you see, it worked. So this is what you have to do. As I say, it points exactly where it should be. so everything is the way it should be. And now what I have to do is place the indexes on the dial. Okay, so I showed you guys how to do your hour indexes, which these ones are mine. As you see, they are filled with luminous paste. And now what I have to do is put them in those holes there. So if you're planning to do the same thing that I'm doing, painting the dial and everything, see those holes inside, they were filled with paint. So basically what you have to do is uncover basically the hole. That's the only thing that you have to do. So like I said, I'm using varnish for this. The paint interacts with the glue interacts with the paint, so that's why I'm using varnish. So I'm using one of these to put varnish in these holes and then place that index inside, and then try to give it a bit of a polish afterwards, just to look more shiny. And it will be something like this. I'm not gonna film how I do the whole 13 of them, but this is the way it should look. And as you see, let me see if I can zoom in a bit. And you can see the minute, the stamping, it's exactly the way it should be. But yeah, this is the way you have to do it. And now I will do for the whole 13 of them, well, another 12 actually. And yeah, I will show you the final result at the end. So this is it after polishing the indexes again. This is the way it looks, the final result of the dial. So like I said, everything that you see here is handmade and is made basically by me, including the hour indexes, the dial filled with luminous paste, and this is the way it looks, stamped as well and everything. Has a dial fit at the back. And this is the front. You can't get anything like this, any color like this. Even if you do it with enamel paint or whatever, you can't really get something like this. So this is literally one of a kind. So every watch that I make is one of a kind. So yeah, so this is the final result. Like you see, the indexes, they do shine in the light. And I can show you guys if it glows in the dark or not. It does glow in the dark a bit, so I mean a bit more, it should be a bit more. because it's a Swiss paste, so as you see, it doesn't even focus proper. But I will test it in a second to see if it shines in the light, if it glows in the dark. But yeah, this is the dial. Okay, so this is how the watch looks like so far. As you see, I still have to do the second hand, which that one I will do in the next video. That will be a separate video. But so far this is the way it looks. Let me zoom in on this for you guys to see exactly how it looks. Okay, so it looks like this. As you see, like I said, I still have to do the second hand, but everything else it's in order. The writing as well. I did not put the cap on yet, so this is the way it looks without it. But as you see, the hour indexes, they shine in the light. So yeah, this is the watch. So if you like my videos, please subscribe and like, and I will give this watch away. I will give it for free when I will reach 100 followers, 100 subscribers. Sorry, I will let you guys know how you can actually get this watch for free. It's actually pretty simple, but yes, I will give this watch for free. It comes with a leather strap, with a black leather strap as well. It comes with the box and papers and everything. So yeah, like I said, keep in touch, because I will tell you guys later how you can actually get this watch for free, and it will not be one of those that I will give it for free, but I will give it for free on a friend or whatever. So no, I will actually give it for free. The only thing that you have to do is just you will have to pay the postage, because for example, if I will have to send it to China or India or whatever, I do not know exactly how much the postage costs and stuff. So all you have to do is pay the postage, and it will not be one of those pay the postage £100 or whatever. It kind of depends on you. Actually, you can choose the postage, and yeah, I mean, once you pay the postage, I can send it anywhere, and you will get this watch for free. Alright, so subscribe and like, and in the next video I will post how I do the second hand. Alright, bye bye.